Hey, all right, we are live. Real quick, at the beginning here, we need well, no one's here, but yoga mat, saber, and heavy object. So check the description if you're looking for this, or if you're on YouTube, then you can just pause this here. All right, I'm joined today with Coach Sam.
Coach Sam.
The one, the only. That's right.
Exactly. So we're back at it again, another Wednesday evening. So as you saw on the list, no jumping rope today, partly because of me. I was doing jump rope on Monday, and my back did not like it. My back's feeling better every day, so that's good, but jumping up and down, so I'll do some jumping jacks instead. So that seemed to hurt less than that. So let's get started and get our blood warmed up. And I mean, I just put jumping jacks, whatever. I mean, you can run around flailing your arms in your front yard, do some sort of skipping through the house to annoy people there. I don't, whatever. Just get your blood pumping, get your limbs moving. Just get your muscles some oxygen. Get that blood pumping. Alrighty.
Whew.
The ravages of age. Alright, I'm gonna do some burpees. Cool. So that's fun enough for me. So we'll get right into the yoga. So get on our yoga mat. It'll be a abbreviated version, I guess, of what I normally have people do. But nonetheless, I'll get in the tabletop. As you saw on the list, we're going to do some downward dog. So again, right on. My knee was bouncing right on that edge.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was unpleasant.
No fun.
So, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, curl your toes, and push yourself back. We're just going to relax. Alright. Now on our next exhale, we're going to drop to the ground. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Curl your toes and then exhale, back to downward dog. You know what's weird about yoga? I got stuff. Beginning, whenever I start yoga, or I started doing yoga and was being taught it, downward dog was just the absolute worst. Shaking, I felt so weak. And I'm a fairly strong guy and stuff, so it's a humbling experience. So, we'll get back to it. If you gotta take a break like I just did, that's fine, right? Not that big of a deal. There we go. Now our next exhale. Inhale. And then exhale back to downward dog. Next exhale. Drop to the ground. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, downward dog. All right, on our next exhale, we're gonna bring our right foot forward. And then we're gonna inhale into warrior two. All right, we're gonna really work on, again, turning our hand sideways. And relax. And our exhale, we're gonna move forward. Sky. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to stretch these muscles on our side and our ribs. On our inhale, fall over. So, like, and we're trying to stretch out these muscles on our side. All these little rib muscles that are right here. If they get pulled, then it really hurts. There's several people at my jiu-jitsu studio that they were out because they couldn't wrestle because it hurt, and then they couldn't get hit because it hurt. And it's not that they were that badly injured, but it was just painful. All right. And then our exhale, we're going to pivot into crescent lunge. So we're going to pivot our back, ball of our foot. And we're going to transition. We're going to sink in. If you've got to adjust your feet like I'm doing, that's perfectly fine. Just get to a position where you can relax your calf and kind of yeah, if your feet are way too far spread apart, I find that I kind of have to tense up my calf muscle in that rear leg. And then I'm not stretching that muscle, that calf. And that's what we want, right? We want to be able to let the position, we're not using our muscles to hold the position, we're using our skeletal structure. And then that's allowing our muscles to relax and get stretched. So however you got to position that structure, it's the way you got to do it. So, all right. We'll transition back to warrior two, and then we're going to do chaturanga. So, exhale, down. Inhale, cobra. And then, of course, everybody's favorite, downward dog. On our next exhale, bring our left foot forward. Inhale. Nice and tall. All right, right? Really trying to turn my body sideways, opening up my hips, right? Trying to keep my hips right underneath my shoulders, and then trying to get my front leg to be 180 degrees from my rear leg. And then our exhale, rolling forward. Trying to stretch out this set again. And then inhale. Oh my. Exhale into warrior two, and then on our next exhale, we're going to pivot into crescent lunge. So, whoo, and I got to adjust my feet because my legs are just not that flexible to be in that position. So that's all right. However close, you got to bring your feet together to relax that calf muscle and allow yourself to stretch. However, you got to do it, right? Shaky. All right. Well, exhale. Back to warrior two. Then our next exhale. Down into chaturanga, inhale into cobra, and then exhale, downward dog. And remember, with downward dog, you're trying to back your hips up with your hands so they drag over your heels, right? You're not trying to lift yourself up, you're trying to push yourself back. And that's the stretch. All right, now back down to tabletop. Whew, my word. Someone get me a window seat. Because this flower is wilting. So, all right. Enough referencing 90s cartoons. Throw that over there. All right, so we'll just get into, we're going to do some lunging. And like what we've done before, but we're going to talk a little bit about keeping our technique for in between the guard lines sharp, and keeping those line of thinking sharp as well. So we'll start off in tension position. Not going to do this for very long. Just kick out, right? So kick the leg out, like someone's pulling your leg out. They have a string, and they're just, or better yet, the vaudeville cane. Right? It's a bad act, so they're going to yank your foot off stage. Right? So this goes out, yoink, and land. Right? Just like this. And then push yourself back. Just like that. And we'll do it 3 more times. And so kick out and land. So I'm really bending my knee in the landing. Right? Keep my head straight. And pushing myself back. And the only time my foot touches the ground is when it's out there and back here next to my rear foot. All right, 2 more times. Kick up and land and back. And when we're kicking that foot out, we're not trying to like make this rigid thing, right? We're just kind of swinging it out there and then landing. If you want to think about it, and this is usually an analogy for muscles and rubber bands. Right? Because that's kind of how they work, right? They contract to deliver power, right? That's how a rubber band works, right? Where you release it and it contracts. And so right here, we're just like with like a rubber band though, I'm out here and this muscle is kind of making, my quads make my leg go straight, right? But since they're already bunched up, we want to kind of think about them being relaxed, right? Just like a rubber band where they're they're not stretched out, so there's no tension, no energy stored. right? And then when we're landing on the ground with our heel, that's when the rubber band starts getting stretched, and that's when the energy gets stored or, absorbed, as it were. So if you have a really stiff, rigid front leg when you land in a lunge, you're going to land hard, and you do that a couple thousand times, that harsh vibration, that harsh vibe is going to mess you up. So, all right, so now we'll just do it 3 times, and I don't want you to, we're going to feel that, right? You're going to lunge out, you're going to feel the rubber band stretch, and then snap back into relaxation, pushing you back. So, out, and back, out, and back, right? I'm very relaxed. We'll do it one more time, kicking my foot out, but my quad and my leg is relaxed when it's kicked out, and then it starts to tense up and store energy when my knee is bending, right? When that rubber band is stretching. All right, so now we go to on guard. We'll only do this 3 times because we're going to do lots of lunging today. So we're on guard, and just like what I was talking about, bent knees stretches the rubber band, stores the energy. So this is stored energy. We're going to still remember this. This is stored energy. So we're going to lunge. I'm not going to do a lot of power, but this is going to contract and relax. This is going to contract, delivering the power. So lunge, just like that. All right, and that back foot can slide forward. In fact, I'm encouraging it. I want you to learn to land in the lunge, good lunge position, but still be able to get some length on the action. So, lunge. All right, and do it one more time. Lunge. Cool. All right, and then we'll do it 3 times where you just go lunge, recover, lunge, recover, lunge, recover. All right, very smooth. We don't need to be doing anything hyper active. We're not trying to go for time or anything like this. So, lunge, recover. Lunge, recover. All right, my leg is out in front, so my straight leg bending is absorbing the impact of my front foot hitting the ground. Lunge, recover. And then that makes my lunge a lot faster too, or a lot smoother, which is fast. Okay. So we got our legs warmed up, we got the idea of lunge warmed up in our head. That's cool. So we'll take a little bit of a break from that. We're going to do just 1, 2, 1, 2. I didn't call it Nazlima footwork because I didn't feel like being so blatantly plagiaristic. But so we've done this before, right? And if you have a little bit of room where you're doing this, do double advances, right? Especially in the later drills that we're going to show. But if you have the room, use it. Right? I'm kind of assuming the worst, so that's why I'm showing it. A lot of the stuff where you're staying still. So you're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? And we'll actually lift this up. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then set it down. All right? We'll do it 2 more times. 1, 2, 1, 2. Set it down. All right? I'm landing on my heel. Okay? All right. And we'll do it one more time. Da, 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 da. Step. Okay? Heel, toe. Very important, especially with lunging. Okay. So now we're going to do it 1, 2, 1, 2, lunge. So, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm kicking my foot out immediately. Not doing anything hardcore. And this is really important. I was thinking about this today, and I'll keep doing it while I'm talking. Lunge. And I recover. And I'm going to sit in position. You can recover right away. That's a good skill to kind of learn. Attacking up the in-guard lines, right? It's not just speed that gets priority. It's not just aggression or aggressive actions. It is, when is it that the referee sees your intention, right? When does it look like you're actually attacking, okay? And so the smoothest and the more seamless the transition from the advances to the lunge, the better off you are, all right? So I'll do it a couple more times. Lunge, all right? I'll do it 3 more times, and this time, let's pick up the speed just a little bit. Before we do this, though, make sure this above your waist, all of this stuff above your waist, your arms, back, your face, relax, because this is what you got to do when you have to do when you're doing these double advances. You got to be paying attention, okay? I'll get to this. I'll talk a little more detail when we get through all the drills, and then I'll talk about like what you need to be doing. So, all right, go. 1, 2, 3, 2. All right. nice, sharp. And for those of you that have the room, right, I guess I'll show it from the in-guard line, right? So you got a little bit of room to move, that's cool, right? Right? And I'm at the center line. I don't know how far is the center line from the in-guard line? 2 meters? 2 meters, right? So that's all you gotta go, 2 meters, right? That's 2 strides, right? So, right? I'm taking a small step, and just like I said, I was encouraging that back foot sliding forward, right? The earlier you get done with the advances, the better, right? Especially if you're just intending to attack, right? Or trying to set up other stuff, which is what we're going to get into. Like, you want to get the advances done early, get into the lunge, okay? You don't have to be, like, launching yourself or putting in a lot of effort, because it's not that far. All right, so we're going to do it one more time. All right, small advances, right? Do it in place, do it with a little bit of room, but small advances. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next piece. That is 1, 2, 1, 2, parry repose. All right, I guess I can grab my saber. We got done saber with the last one, but that's all right. So I'm here, all right? I'm just going to take 2 steps in place, or if you have the room, you can take a double advance. So I'll show it standing still first, right? So you're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, stop, parry riposte, okay? And you can choose any parry that you want. 1, 2, 1, 2, stop, parry riposte. 1, 2, 1, 2, up, up, okay? 1, 2, 1, up, up, right? But the key to this is I move forward just a little bit, right? And that's okay. But I need to come to a sharp end to those double advances. Does that make sense, right? So the first drill we did, where we did the lunge, right? We're setting up that we're doing fast advances, and then we have this lunge that we can rely on to like kind of cover ground, right? So if they're intending to come into the center, they're going to get hit, right? Or they're going to not get into the center, they're going to stay away. Now that's a different situation, right? But we're establishing that there's not a lot of time from on guard to when my attacks like kind of starts, or when my lunge starts, when I'm really committing to hitting, right? And that's a really important setup, right? I'm not giving my opponent time to watch me, right? I'm getting done with the preparatory steps, and getting into an action, so they have to have a plan, and they have to enact against it, right? And that's very, very important. So, such as you do your double advance lunge, you watch where they like to cut with their attacks, double advance stop, parry to that line, right? Pretty basic things, right? We're watching as we do the double advance, right? Where are they going and all that stuff. So we get back to 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll do it a couple more times just to work on the body motion. So 1, 2, stop, parry pose, right? And even I'm moving forward. That's about how far you want to go, right? I may be a little bit further depending on where the person likes to attack, but right? Move basically one on guard width forward off the line. And I'm right here at parry post, right? So I'm getting there to there very quickly, right? And I'm ahead of my opponent, right? I'm here before they're committed. Kind of, right? Like I'm getting up, I'm here, and I'm waiting for them to do something, right? Oh, parry post, they're committing and trying to hit me. Parry post or step back, you know. Lots of things you can do, or well, you could parry them or step back, I suppose. So there's 2 things you can do. But, you know, that's all right. All right, so I'll do it one more time, right? So I'm coming out, I'm doing quick, and then stop it, right? Look at me rush, stop, parry post. Look at me attack, oh, parry post. All right. So now the next thing that we're going to do is what I find is most people, not like the super advanced people, the people who have a lot of experience, but a lot of middling people that great technique. They're good at doing, you know, a couple things pretty well. But you know, you hit them with a parry post, what's their thought? Whoa, I need to hit them with a parry post, right? I see it often, right? You know, like, oh, I got parried, so that means I can't, or I got parried when I attacked, so that means I can't attack. Right? I mean, you see lots of people, that's a fairly common kind of like line of thinking. And so we can take advantage of that. And even good people, really good people, right? It takes a lot of concentration and you know, presentness and all that, whatever, to be able to like think ahead. So, all right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the 1-2-1-2 lunge, and we're going to do a disengage, right? So we kind of know that they're hesitant about coming forward, and so that means that I have some time to wait and watch what they do, right? I don't have to commit my arm or psychologically commit to a line, more importantly, right? I don't have to be like, oh, I'm just going to reach out and hit them in the head or hit them in the chest, right? I'm just going to try and get to that target early, right? They're hesitant, so and so they're going to, well, you know, what? And so that means that I have time to kind of see how they're reacting, right? I'm pushing the pace, I'm getting them to all of a sudden, oh, maybe I should parry, and then I can watch what they do, and then I can react to it. So we'll go smooth, right? 1-2-1-2, disengage, right? So I'm getting into the lunge early, all right, just like I do with a regular attack. 1-2-1-2. Attack, right? And finish there. So I'm doing a variety of things. Whatever works for you. If you want to work on some disengage that you're bad at, good. If you want to just work on what you're strong at and prove it better, that's good too, right? If you want to do medley, just to kind of be well-rounded, that's cool. But just think about that, right? More of like the tactical rationale, right? I've got them. Why am I doing this? Why am I looking for the disengage? Because I know, or I think, I have a feeling that they're not going to attack. So I have time to wait, right? Screwed up the tempo there. Right. Here, relax hand, relax grip on the sword. So those of you that have to stay in place, right? Right there. Same tempo of the feet, right? Whether you're moving forward or not, you know, it's the tempo of the feet, right? How quick are you getting done with footwork, the advanced tempo to get into the lunge tempo. All right, cool. So now, the next thing that we're going to do is 1-2-1-2 stop, and then you're going to do an advanced lunge. And so I like this one if I can get people to, if they have like, people like to back up off after coming in the box. They kind of back off, right? Because maybe they're anticipating you launching this early attack, right? That makes sense, right? And I'm setting up the tempo to make it look like that, right? Coming out quick, getting this fast footwork done. So they're like, oh, I don't want to engage. I'm going to try and step back, right? So you're going to go 1-2-1-2 stop, advance lunge, okay? 1-2 stop, advance lunge. All right. And so right there, why I'm stopping is they're expecting me to launch an attack, and they're coming out and watching what I'm doing so they can either parry me, right, or step away and make me miss in my attack. All right. And so all of a sudden I'm going, and then I'm done and I'm stopping, and I am not moving forward when they're expecting me, right? And so right there, their world model, whatever, you know, simulation their brain is creating at that point, starts to fall apart, right? It's not following reality, right? Like their model says I'm supposed to be here, but I'm here, all right? So they're going to go, oh, wait, what? What's going on? Why is, you know, the model's never wrong. Yeah, and then by that time, they realize that, oh, they're not moving forward, or they're not attacking, you're already moving ahead, right? So the difference is, you know, because people are like, well, why would you hesitate up the line and all that stuff once you lose the attack? You do lose the attack. But the thing is that I have a plan, right? I'm not watching and hesitating and wondering if, right? I'm like, I know they don't like it, or at least I'm guessing with that absolute confidence, right? I know they don't like to attack, right? I know they're looking for the parry, right? They're trying to get me to miss so they can do a slow push, right? Or, look for a hesitation in my hand when I'm lunging so that the counterattack that works, right? So they're not just showing off aggression. They're waiting for me to screw up in my action coming forward, right? So, and then all of a sudden I'm just not at the right distance for what they want to do, right? Like all the timing is right? My footwork ended up my footwork ended at the right time, but I'm not at the right place, right? And that gets people confused, right? And then their brain has to readjust the model of what's going on in the world, and that takes time. And so I know what's going on because I made a decision before I even came off the line, right? I'm going to come out, stop, and go, right? And so I'm ahead, right? Reprise, All right, so I'll show it a couple more times, and we're going a little longer than I wanted. Like it usually happens when I start talking, because who doesn't love the sound of my voice? So, right, you're coming off. If you have time, if you have room, then by all means, we need to be pushing fast, right? Stop, right? Look at the attack. Oh, no, I'm not, right? And I'm finished, right? And there's variations, right, depending on your balance, right? You come out, stop, and then keep moving, and then they run away, you just push them back to the end of the script. But that's kind of a balance and relaxation thing. The more balanced and relaxed, the easier it is for you to adjust to that situation, whether you need to attack or finish or keep marching. So, all right, I'll do it a couple more times. One more time. All right, that was pretty good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do 7 coming off the en garde lines. All right, and all I want you to do is do whatever it is. Do a pattern. Look, I'm attacking. Look, I'm attacking. Look, I'm not, parry or post, right? Think about setting up things, right, from one action to the next. So I'm here, all right, lunge, recover back, all right. Maybe they looked like they were going to parry or, So it doesn't really matter what the pattern is, right? Because people react differently. Sometimes they're going to be trying to parry off of simultaneous. So then you do this and this. All right. Bop, bop. Four, three, four, and whatever. So, and if you're standing still, right? Or if you're trying to do it in place, you have limited room. There it is. Bop, bop. Bop, bop. All right, cool. So that's something to think about, right? And this is something you can do if you're bored, right? Just practice setting things up, right? Imagining what the possibilities are when, how the opponent is going to react coming off the line. I'm doing advanced lunge. Why are you coming off the line to hit the attack? Is it just to hit them? No, right? It's to watch what they do, right? Where do they attack? And maybe if you win the attack in between the guard lines, what are they going to do next, right? Are they going to overcommit to the attack? Are they going to just bail on it and try and go parry or make you miss? And those are all possibilities, right? You've seen every one of those things happen, right? Have you seen people that just meathead it and they're just like, no, I'm going to do the same action but better. And it worked. So actually, Cyrus Chaos had a Yakamenko. Oh, is it Yakamenko? Yeah, they showed him and he did like 5 straight attacks off the line in a row, and won the match off of that, right? Because I think what it was is because the opponent got too in his head. He got too complicated with like what he was predicting. He's like, no, he can't be just doing a straight attack now. He's got to be setting up this other action. And, you know, Yakimenko was like, nah, boink. Yeah. Well, now, nah, boink, you know. It's just, you know, making a decision, right, and being confident in that decision is the real key to having success. You know, reading the situation too, but if you're not confident in your decision, it's not going to work, right? I've seen plenty of fencers that did the right idea, but it was tentative, and they lost the touch, right? And then, an example, Yakimenko being a meathead and just saying, oh, stick hit head, again, and again, and he won, just because he's good at it, and he believed in it, and there's no doubt in his head that he was going to go forward and hit, right? Even if that is somewhat delusional, you know, people are crazy, you know, that's the way it goes. All right, so, that went a little bit longer, but that's all right. So, let me go grab my phone, and we're going to get to our Tabatas, and then you guys can be free
Oh, yeah.
to enjoy this wonderful evening.
So it looks like we got goblet squats, push-ups, and crunches. So you'll need your heavy object
Heavy object.
right there to do your goblet squats, if you have one.
If you have one. You know, to be honest, even if you don't, with squats, you can do the body weight exercises, but you got to tighten up and squeeze your feet, your muscles, right? Tense up your muscles, right? Because they're gonna, you know, bind up and then they're gonna tear a little bit, right? Because your bones aren't giving way, your tendons aren't gonna give way. At least hopefully not, I guess, you know, but probably not. You know, it takes a little bit of external persuasion to get your tendons to rip off your bone or rip off your muscle. Seen it happen, but again, extraneous circumstances and all that stuff. All right, so we got about 3 seconds. We're gonna do some goblet squats. And 3, 2, 1, and go. Such delicious mead. My goblet. Also, the lower you go, the better it is. So, ideally, your hips, you want your hips to drop below your knees. You go into squat position. Because this is where your quads are weak, because they're fully stretched out, right? Where they're stronger when you're standing up straight. Should have done the push-ups first. The other thing I'm doing when I'm holding the weight is I am buttoning it to my chest. I'm not letting it float away and get away from my torso, because that puts weird stress on your back. So keep everything nice and tight, as close as you can to the center line. One more, and then you guys get to watch me fail at push-ups. All right, 40 seconds till push-ups.
Now's a great time to grab some water
Grab some water.
if you got it. And if you don't, that's okay.
Oh boy. Oh, what's going on? Ugh.
Might have skipped your rest by accident.
I think I did. I mean, it was almost done anyway.
All right. Halfway there.
Yup. Man, I hate push-ups.
But push-ups love you, Sam.
I know. No use in stalling out. Yeah, check your ego. Can't do push-ups and go on your knees. You get more of a workout because you're actually performing the motion. Oh.
Almost there. You got this.
Yeah. Whew. All right, quick drink of water, and then we'll get right on our. Actually, no, we won't get a drink of water. We'll just do our crunches.
All right.
Just get it done with.
Straight to it.
Straight to it.
100.
100. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo!
All right.
All right. So, there, we have concluded. I just want to re-emphasize with what I did with the double advanced lunge. Big part about, part of losing your sharpness in fencing is what's going on right now where you're not fencing. But another big part of it is you're not thinking about it. I kind of said this the past couple live streams, but that's why, because it's important, right? That's a way or something you can do to kind of, I don't know, you can do that or add variations onto it. What I showed there with coming together, but you can do it with the march. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. But thinking about it, going through the actions, linking strategies with tactics, linking observations with adjustments that you would be doing, all right? That's a big part of it, right? It's not your technique. It's not necessarily even the timing or distance. Those things are all vitally important, don't get me wrong. And that's what we're losing right now by not being here, but also thinking a certain way when you're fencing, right? There's a mindset, there's a process that they have to go through to make good decisions. And that is something that you can do at home, right? So I gave an example with like the double advanced drill that we did, right? There's a situation where you make, tactical decisions based on what your opponent's doing and, how they're reacting to your adjustments and such as like the Iraq. But you, and so keeping that in your head, right? So then we don't have to try and relearn it back here when you do come back. That's just one less thing that you got to worry about. It also kind of keeps you engaged, right? Thinking about stuff, keeping hungry about coming back and enacting plans. Don't just be like, I'll take care of it later, because then the taste is going to be gone. You'll lose your taste for it, all right? Remember those meals, all right? Just keep yourself hungry. So, all right. On that note, stay hydrated, stay safe. So that's part of staying hydrated, is staying safe, and don't touch your face. So, all right, bye.